All right, folks, we're going to go a little deeper now. I want to pause a little bit. We are never at least in my lifetime, I have experienced a point of time where there is such a need for leaders of character, leaders who can stand as rocks in the midst of crisis. You've probably experienced this when you've gone through different crises. There's people out there that just have such an impact, and they seem to not waver. Have you ever met people like that where they're just a rock in the middle of a storm? That's who I want each and every one of us to be. We need leaders of character. We need people that are rock solid during this time, and each and every one of us is called to do that. So I'm going to take a little bit of time the next few weeks. I want to dive deeper into this. We'll do some surface ones later, but I want to start building a foundation and dive a little deeper, and I want to talk about tightening up that shock group. You saw it at the bottom of the whiteboard last week when I talked about my son getting hit by that dog, tightening up the shock group. Because one of the things I've noticed about great leaders and about great warriors is they understand the fundamentals of who they are, why they are there in that given moment, and they're anchored in what they believe. This becomes critical. All of you who shoot understand that you need to have a tight shock group. I cannot engage a target. I cannot adapt to my situation until I've mastered the fundamentals. If my trigger's squeezed, my shot sights, if my breathing is not accurate, then my shock group is off and I can't effectively engage a target. I've got to work on those things, get my shock group tightened, then I can work at managing and moving to different targets. The same thing goes with our lives. Folks, we have three fundamentals in our lives that we need to tighten up so that the situation is not influencing us, but so that we are influencing the situation. The raging storm does not move the rock, it blows around the rock. And that's what I want us to become over the next couple of weeks. I want us to tighten up our shock groups and focus on three areas. Each day, each week, we're going to go through a little more detail in each of these areas. I want us to focus on who we are and lock that in. Focus on why you're there. Lock it in for this given time, moment in time. And then the most important one, or actually they're all important. You don't get to prioritize these. What do I believe? When you take a shot, you don't get to prioritize your sight picture over your breathing. All three got to be dialed in. And folks, the same thing goes with this. I don't get to choose one over the other. If we're going to be that rock in the midst of the storm, if we're going to be that warrior leader, then we're going to dial each of these in. I pray you be with us the next couple of weeks. We'll see you soon.